How to turn your podcast into a YouTube client machine. Okay, you have a podcast. You're already doing the hard work. Every single week, you sit down, you prepare, you record, you put out valuable content. You're doing more than most people in your industry, right? But here's the frustrating part. Your podcast is an audio-first medium in a video-first world. Think about how people discover content today, right? They go on YouTube. They type in a question, they watch a video. They do not go to Apple Podcasts and type in a question. They do not scroll through Spotify looking for solutions to their business problems. YouTube is the second largest search engine on the planet, and your podcast is invisible on it. What if I told you that you're sitting on a goldmine of content that, with a few strategic tweaks, could be turned into a powerful YouTube client acquisition machine? Not by doubling your workload, not by creating a whole separate content strategy, but by taking what you're already doing and repurposing it intelligently. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stop treating your podcast and your YouTube channel like two separate things, and how to start using a simple 3-layer system to turn one podcast into a full funnel client getting machine. One recording session, multiple pieces of content, all working together to get you clients. What do we mean when we say repurpose, don't repost? Reposting is low value. You take the full audio, you slap a static image or audiogram waveform on it and upload it to YouTube, right? Nobody wants to watch a static image for 45 minutes. Viewers click away in seconds. The algorithm learns your content is not engaging, stops recommending your content entirely. You've trained the algorithm to ignore you. What do we mean by repurposing? We want to take core ideas, insights, stories, and frameworks from your podcast and transform them into native YouTube content designed to be watched, shared, and acted upon, right? Same ideas, different packaging. The packaging is everything. Content rewards the platform it lives on. We want to be strategic, not lazy. We don't want to take content that's designed for one platform and just dump it onto another. That would be like taking a billboard ad and reading it word for word on the radio. It doesn't work because the medium is different, and also it wastes a lot of your time and effort that could be more valuably repurposed in a better way. So you don't waste your time and you actually get more time from the work you're already doing. So I spoke earlier about the 3-layer repurposing system. So what do I mean by that? Each layer serves a different purpose in your content funnel on YouTube, and together they turn one recording session into a complete system. We're not just reposting the episode, right? You can extract things from your podcast and use it in multiple ways. We're going to have micro lessons, right? These are going to be like top of funnel clips highlighting key insights. We're going to have proof clips, right? Testimonials and results, snippets, and we're going to have a full episode, right? This will be like middle of the funnel content, and this is where you could actually repost the full episode or larger clips from it. Okay, one recording session, multiple pieces of content, right? A full funnel. Why do more work than you have to? All of these things are working together to get you clients on the planet's second largest search engine. Let's break down each of these 3 layers really quickly. Okay, let's start at the full episode, which is going to be like middle of funnel content. Either the full episode or like large sections of it, right? This means you're just filming your podcast episode. Maybe you're already doing that, right? If you are, you've got this covered, but we want to talk about extracting the pieces of your video content in a way that YouTube will reward you the most for doing the least amount of effort. So we want to extract the most amount of value from the podcast. Okay, if you're not filming it, this means you just need to set up a camera, right? It doesn't have to be fancy. Could just be an iPhone at first. I've done that before. Your middle of the funnel content is for people who already know you, right? Who found you through a shorter video. And we're going to talk about those later. And want to go deeper into your methodology. You're going to have chapter markers. You could have animated text callouts, professional outro and intro, right? Treat it like a real YouTube video, not an afterthought. And this is simple. You can just film those and slap them on the front and the end if you don't already have them for your podcast. The chapter markers are so people can jump to the sections that matter to them. And also you can place keywords into those chapters in a very smart and intuitive way that helps you and those people that are looking for what you offer. The full episode is not really designed to get found in search. It's designed to be watched by people who are already in your world. You've already pulled them in with a top of funnel video. This is probably the second or third video they watch, right? Not the first. Your ideal client is the one who can afford to pay you, and they have more money than time, right? They will watch this, understand exactly what you do, and think, I could do this myself, but I'd rather just pay this person, right? So let's talk about layer 2, which is actually at the top, but it's better to kind of talk about this in this order. So micro lessons are going to be your top of funnel content, right? You're going to pull micro lessons out of the podcast. This is how you get discovered by new people, right? You go through your podcast episode and you pull out 3 to 4 standalone micro lessons, right? These are your top of funnel videos. They could be like 5 to 10 minutes, and they solve one specific problem. That's the key word, one, right? We just want to have one searchable YouTube optimized piece of content for top of funnel, and we want to make sure it only solves one problem. Okay, let me give you an example. Say your podcast episode is a 45-minute conversation about content marketing strategy for consultants, right? Inside that one episode, you probably covered several distinct topics, right? How to write headlines that attract high-ticket clients. Maybe you talked about the content planning framework that saves you 10 hours a week. Maybe you also talked about why most content marketing advice is wrong for consultants, right? You can extract each of those as 3 micro lessons and use them as top of funnel content, optimize them for search, and they'll pull new people in to watch your middle of funnel and bottom of funnel content that I'm going to talk about after this. These are videos that get found in YouTube search. These are the front door to your channel, and you did not have to create any new content to make them. You just extracted them from what you already recorded, right? The key is that each micro lesson must stand on its own. Someone who has never heard of you should be able to watch it, get a quick win, and think, this person knows what they're talking about. What else do they have? And then at the end of each micro lesson, you point them to the full episode. That is how you move them from top of funnel to middle of funnel, which we spoke about previously, okay? Layer 3 is the proof clips, right? That's your bottom of funnel content. These are 60 to 90 second moments from your podcast, could be longer, that are pure gold, right? They are the moments where you say something so insightful, so direct, so powerful that it stops someone in their tracks, or even better, they're the moments where a guest says something incredible about working with you, right? If you interview clients on your podcast, this is your secret weapon. When a client says, working with this person completely changed my life or my business, that is a testimonial. That is social proof, and that is infinitely more powerful than anything you could say about yourself because it's coming from someone else, right? These proofs serve as bottom of the funnel content. They are for the person who is already considering hiring you and just needs one final push, right? These can even be used as YouTube shorts if they're very quick. They're versatile, high impact assets that close the trust gap. Okay, so here's what we have built from a single podcast episode. You have one recording session, right? 1 hour of your time, or maybe you have an hour and a half podcasts. I don't know how long your podcasts are, but let's say they're an hour long, right? From that, you've extracted 3 to 4 top of funnel micro lessons that are searchable, search optimized standalone videos that get found in YouTube search, right? You have 3 to 4 bottom of funnel proof clips, right? Depending upon what you're talking about in this specific podcast episode. But if you're talking to former clients, you definitely have that, or current clients. You've got your middle of funnel content, right? You've broken up the podcast into either posted it in its entirety or maybe 2 to 3 larger clips. So you've got 8 to 9 total content pieces, right? A full funnel of content from a single recording. And we're not asking you to do anything else, right? You're just breaking down your podcast in a way that gets the most value out of it for you and for your future ideal clients who are searching for you and don't know you exist yet. Okay, that is potentially 8 to 9 pieces of content from one recording, right? One session, 1 hour of your time, a funnel full of content. So here's something you can do for yourself today, right? It's the 1 episode challenge. Take your most recent podcast episode, go through it with fresh eyes, and complete this checklist. Find 3 micro lessons inside it, right? Write down a title for each one that your ideal client would actually type into YouTube. Find your proof clips, right? Find the clips where your current clients or past clients are talking about working with you and how great it was, right? Give each one of these a searchable title, right? Titles your ideal client would actually type into the YouTube search engine. Okay, so what if you don't have time to do all of this yourself, right? What if you want someone to take your raw footage and just turn it into a full YouTube client acquisition machine for you? Okay, that's exactly what we do. If you want to see our full end-to-end system for how we take your content and turn it into a complete client acquisition machine in 90 days, you need to watch our full breakdown. Okay, in that we go over editing, SEO, thumbnails, full funnel strategy, and a lot of other things that I don't have time to talk about in this video. I'm going to post a link to that in the description below. Go take a look at it.